Good afternoon. Welcome once again to DuPage Medical Group Field as Game 2 between St. Francis and Indiana South Bend is just about to commence. Terry Bonadonna with you for another 9 innings of baseball here. The Titans have taken the first 2 games of this series, and they've done it with offense. 9-4 yesterday and then 12-6 in the opener today. We are underway in Game 2 as Logan Smith takes ball 1. 3:28 Central Daylight Time. This one gets underway. 1-0 on Logan Smith, who had a huge Game 1. He takes a strike. The count is 1-1. In the opener today, Smith went 4 for 5 with 2 singles, a double, a homer. He also reached on an error. He drove in 2 runs and scored 4. He takes a strike. It's 1-2. Logan Smith entered today as a .325 hitter. That average has shot up some as he golfs this ball into right field down the line. That's a foul ball and out of play. Still 1-2. Doing the pitching for St. Francis here in game number 2 is Nick Villasenor, making his 4th start of the year and his 5th appearance. He's 1-2 with a .237 ERA. The southpaw winds and fires, bounces in for a ball. And the count is 2-2. St. Francis's senior pitcher has thrown 19 innings this year. He's allowed 8 runs, 5 earned on 17 hits with 14 strikeouts. Only 1 walk so far this season. He's 1 ball away from number 2 as Smith takes outside. The count goes full. Villasenor works quickly. The payoff pitch fouled away. Smith will see an 8th offering. Starting pitcher in Game 1 for St. Francis was Ryan Daly. He took the loss in that one, allowing 10 runs over 4 2/3 innings. There's a line shot up the middle, a base hit for Smith. Good at bat, and he stays hot. His 5th consecutive hit going back to Game 1. Leadoff man aboard for IUSB. Ryan Daly, by the way, that starting pitcher from Game 1, he's at first base right now. As we take a look at the Saints defense, Josh Tesh is at second. Sean Harper moves to the infield and plays short. Josh Kernbauer is at third. In the outfield, Schoonover's in right, Ketchum's in left. Dolan Nicholson plays center. And Jake Lasota does the catching. As TJ De Herrera is hit by Villasenor's first toss, and he sprints on down to first base. 2 on, nobody out. And this has a very similar feel to Game 1. IUSB getting early base runners, as they did frequently in each inning against St. Francis earlier this afternoon. Some trouble here for Villasenor. That, by the way, is the 3rd batter that he's hit, despite only having walked 1 this year. Here's Logan Young. Young foul tips the first pitch into the catcher's glove for strike 1. Game 1 today, Logan Young went 2 for 5, a double and 2 RBIs. He's a .268 hitter for the season. Second on the team with 22 runs batted in. The 0-1, grounded foul past third. It's 0-2. Should give you the rest of the starting lineup for IUSB as well. The cleanup batter on deck is the catcher Jordan Moore. The designated hitter, batting 5th, Scott Stetz. Nolan Unger hits 6th in center field. At third base is Austin Verwey. Nolan Lorenz hits 8th in left field, and batting 9th is the shortstop, Colin Mack. Ball up and away. 1-2 on Logan Young. 2 on, nobody out, top of the first inning. IUSB scored 3 times in the first inning in Game 1, never trailed. So they're trying to keep their streak going of holding a lead in every inning of today's twin bill. The 1-2. Fly ball into center field. Dolan Nicholson backs up, shields his eyes, and misses the ball. It lands just out of his reach. Smith scores. De Herrera right on his tail. The throw comes into third base, and now TJ De Herrera is caught in a rundown. The throw comes to the catcher. There's a collision, and Jake Lasota is able to hold on to the ball. The out is recorded at the plate. In the rundown, Logan Young heads all the way to third base. There's a little bit of a fracas at the plate following that collision, but cleared up very quickly by the umpires. It's 1-0 IUSB on an RBI double for Logan Young. Looked like a fly out off the bat. Nicholson couldn't quite find it. Very bright skies overhead today. He lost it in the sun, apparently, as it landed just beyond his reach. So Smith scores. D. Herrera got caught up between third and the plate, and he is tagged out by the catcher. So the first pitch to Moore misses outside for ball one. Runner at third, one out, 1-0 the score. Jordan Moore swings and misses. It's 1-1. So I believe that went 8-6-5-2 on the put out at the plate. Ball two on Jordan Moore. How about this IUSB offense? They've won 7 consecutive games. Their run totals in those games, 7, 10, 11, 11, 7, 9, 12. And today they've got one. We're only 3 batters in. There's a pop-up right side foul ground. Jake Lasota makes the grab for out number 2. That's a big second out. Jordan Moore is retired. And now Nick Villasenor does not need to worry about the man at third base anymore. As long as he can get Stets, he shouldn't fret about that run scoring. Scott Stets, though, is a tough batter. .429 hitter coming into today's doubleheader. In game 1, he reached base 3 times, although he went just 1 of 4 at the plate. Reached once on a fielder's choice and once on an error. He scored 2 runs. There's a called strike. 1-0 IUSB. They've got a chance to add more here. If the Saints can get out of the inning with just 1 run scoring, I think they'll be happy. Well, at this point, they'd have no choice. Stets swings and misses, 0-2. That 1 run is already in. Can they prevent a second? Good start to this at-bat. 0-2 on Scott Stets. He takes a ball outside. Nolan Unger on deck. He'll bat only if Stets can reach. Otherwise, we move into the bottom of the first inning. And the Saints will try to take their first lead of the entire afternoon. Fouled back. Stets, a tough out always, and no different right here as he fights off a 2-strike pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and Villasenor gets out of the inning. 2 hits, a hit batter, and 1 run scores, but they leave a man at third. And as we head to the bottom of the first inning, St. Francis will come to bat trailing 1-0. The Saints come to bat in the bottom of the first inning trailing 1-0. Travis Schoonover will lead things off. The right fielder is followed by center fielder Dolan Nicholson. Then it's Josh Tesh at second base. Hitting cleanup, the DH Foster Heiss. Ryan Daly bats 5th at first base. The catcher hitting 6th is Jake Lasota. Batting 7th, Luke Ketchum. Ketchum plays left field. Josh Kernbauer hits 8th at third base. And batting 9th, shortstop Sean Harper. Schoonover leads things off and takes a strike. The count is 1-1. Travis Schoonover in game 1 today went hitless in 4 at-bats. Bryson Taylor winds up for the 1-1 pitch. Hard grounder, diving stop by the first baseman Logan Young. He carries it to the bag and gets there just ahead of Schoonover. Great play by Young. 1 out. And a good start for Bryson Taylor, who's making his 6th start of the season. He's been the ace for the Titans so far this year. 3-2 with a 2.81 ERA in 25 2/3 innings entering play today. 9 runs allowed, 8 of them earned on 21 hits with 17 strikeouts and 16 walks. He faces Dolan Nicholson and misses outside for ball 1. Nicholson went 0 for 3 in game 1 today. He walked in his 4th at-bat. He takes a strike, 1-1. 1-0 IUSB leads on the RBI double from Logan Young in the top of the first inning. Great start to today's game for Young. Grounded to second base. Gloved cleanly by Smith. He throws to Young, 2 away. How about Logan Young? An RBI double in the top of the first inning and a hit-saving diving play in the bottom half of the inning. Can't ask for a whole lot more than that in 1 inning worth of action from a single player. Josh Tesh hits with 2 outs and nobody on. Ball inside. Tesh doubled in his first at-bat in game 1. Went hitless the rest of the way, though he did reach on an error and score a run later in the game. There's a called strike. Count evens at 1. 2 outs. Nobody on base. Saints trying to mount a first inning rally as Tesh takes the ball inside. Every inning of today's action has ended with Indiana South Bend on top. Saints would like to reverse that trend. There's a swing and a miss. The count goes to 2-2. It's the way this Titans offense has been going the last couple of weeks. You've got to figure as an opposing offense, the best way to beat them is just to outscore them. Ball outside, 3-2. And yes, I know it's the best way to beat anybody. But I mean specifically, you've got to count on your offense a little bit to beat a team that has been as good as IUSB has been lately. As Tesh fouls it off, still 3-2. Nick Villasenor has been very good for the Saints on the mound, but you're not going to expect him to go the distance, allowing just 1 run today against hitters this hot. Tesh is hit by the pitch, and the Saints have a 2-out base runner. Would have been ball 4 if it hadn't hit him. But he gets a bruise to go along with his base now. Man on with 2 outs for Foster Heiss, who had 3 hits in game 1. The only time he was retired was an RBI on a sac fly, so he went 3 for 3. He swings to the first pitch here and grounds it over to Logan Smith at second base. He flips to second and gets the force. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. The inning is over. Saints don't score. They get a 2-out base runner but leave him on. We'll head to the second inning. IUSB 1, St. Francis 0. IUSB got an early run on an RBI double from Logan Young. They lead 1-0 as we start the second inning. And Nolan Unger takes a ball high. Unger, Verwey, and Lorenz due up in the second inning against Nick Villasenor, who misses inside for a ball. 2-0. Nolan Unger in game one went 1 for 2. He takes a strike, 2-1. He had an RBI single, also was hit by a pitch and dropped down a sacrifice bunt. He rolls this one weakly to third under the glove of Kernbauer. It hits third base and stays fair. And Unger is aboard to lead off the second inning. That one kind of on the border as to whether it's a hit or an error. It was playable for Kernbauer. He overran it. I don't know if Kernbauer touched that ball. It doesn't make a difference in the end, but if he didn't touch it, he could still have rolled foul, but it ended up hitting the bag. So it stopped in fair territory anyway. Pushed foul by Austin Verwey on the first pitch. A bunt attempt, strike one on Verwey. Freshman infielder who gets the start at third base. Jake Vanderwood, another freshman, started game one over there, but Verwey gets his turn now. Austin Verwey starting his 10th game of the year, 276 hitter. He bunts this down the first base line. Villasenor picks it up and throws it into right field. Heading to third base is Nolan Unger, and they're at the corners with nobody out. So that'll go, I would guess, as a sacrifice. And E1 to allow him to reach. Villasenor could have let that one roll. I think it looked like it was going foul. But he wanted to pick it up and take the out. He didn't get the out, though. And they're at the corners now with Nolan Lorenz standing in, taking ball one. The defense for the Saints has left something to be desired today. They committed 4 errors in game one. Botched a couple of other plays that didn't go as errors. There's a grounder to second. This is going to get a run in as the throw goes to second base. Force out is recorded, 4-6. But Unger scores, and it's 2-0 IUSB. Nolan Lorenz picks up the RBI. That's his 7th this year. Lorenz is safe at first. Verwey retired. And there's a ground ball to short hit by Mack. Flipped to second for one. Tesh's relay throw is in time. So this time they do get 2. 6-4-3. And the inning comes to a close. But another run scores on a hit, an error. A couple of misplays defensively once again cost the Saints. So we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 IUSB. Ryan Daly leads off the second inning at the plate for the Saints, trailing 2-0 now. It's Daly, Lasota, and Ketchum. And he swings through the first one, strike one. Bryson Taylor on the hill for IUSB. He pitched a sharp first inning, got 3 groundouts. He also hit a batter, but that didn't haunt him. He hits another batter. We'll see if this one eventually does haunt him. Ryan Daly is aboard. That one just skimmed his jersey. You're going to be hit by a pitch. That's the way to do it. So Ryan Daly is aboard in his first at-bat of the day, and Jake Lasota will get his now. Lasota, a .303 hitter with 10 RBIs. Sat in game 1 as Liam Higgins got the call. Lasota swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul past first base, strike one. IUSB has runs in each of the first 2 innings of this game. In game 1, they scored in 6 out of 7 frames overall. So far 9 innings played today. They've got at least 1 run in 8 innings. Lasota hits a hard grounder right to the second baseman. Smith flips it to second for 1. The relay throw is in time. A 4-6-3 double play. So I guess that confirms that Taylor is not haunted by hitting batters, at least not so far in this game. 2 outs, base is clear. That'll bring Luke Ketchum to the plate. Second double play we've seen here in this second inning. Each team has turned one. Luke Ketchum came out as a pinch runner a couple of times in game 1. This is his first at bat. He swings at the first pitch and shoots it right to the third baseman. Austin Verwey sets his feet, throws high to first, but Logan Young comes down on the bag, and they get Ketchum for an easy 1-2-3 inning. Just 5 pitches thrown in the frame by Bryson Taylor. We'll head to the third. 2-zip, IUSB has the lead. Top of the order for the Titans as we move into the third inning. 2-0. IUSB has the lead. Smith, De Herrera, and Young are scheduled to hit against Nick Villasenor, who winds up for the first pitch of the inning and misses low and in. 1-0 on Logan Smith. He singled his last time up. He's now got hits in 5 consecutive at-bats going back to game 1 today. He grounds this one to third. Picked up by Josh Kernbauer, and the throw to first is in time. And for the first time all day, Logan Smith is retired. He had hits in 5 straight at-bats. He had reached base in all 6 of his at-bats. And for the first time all day, Smith comes to the plate and will not stay on the base paths for a little while. Nice start to the inning for Villasenor, who retires the leadoff man for the first time today. Here's TJ De Herrera. De Herrera pops up the first pitch. Left side of the infield. It's the shortstop Harper there to make the grab. 2 down. Four straight outs recorded by Nick Villasenor, and he can have a 1-2-3 inning if he retires Logan Young. Trying to outdo his counterpart Bryson Taylor. Taylor had a 5-pitch inning just a moment ago. Let's see if Villasenor can do something similar. Strike one on Young on his 4th pitch of the frame. Well, if he wants to match Taylor, he's got to get it out right here. He does not get the out, but the next best thing, strike two called on Young. And Villasenor is ahead in the count. 2 outs, nobody on, no balls and 2 strikes on the slugging first baseman for IUSB. Swing and a miss, he chased it in the dirt. Lasota has to track that ball down. The throw to first is there and on time, and it's an easy 1-2-3 for Nick Villasenor. Great work by the pitchers the last inning. We'll see if Taylor can keep it up as the Saints come to bat in the bottom of the third. They trail 2-0. Josh Kernbauer is set to lead off the bottom of the third for the Fighting Saints. He'll be followed in the batting order by Sean Harper and Travis Schoonover. They're facing Bryson Taylor, who's been strong through 2 innings. He's hit 2 batters, but hasn't given up any hits. Fouled back off of the catcher. Strike 1 on Kernbauer. Jordan Moore keels over after that foul tip off the bunt got him, but he's up and okay. Kernbauer batting for the first time today. He did not start game 1. He's a 188 hitter overall for the season with 1 RBI, 1 extra base hit this year. Behind in the count, no balls and 1 strike. The number 8 hitter in Brian Mahalick's batting order. Taylor winds and fires the 0-1. A strike over the outside corner. 0-2. IUSB held off the scoreboard in the third inning as they were set down in order by Nick Villasenor. Check swing foul to the right side, still 0-2. Just the second time in today's doubleheader in which they came to bat and didn't score. Through 2 innings, IUSB scored 2 runs on 3 hits. Got a little help as well from the St. Francis defense. But the Saints now are trying to turn the tables. Kernbauer is hit by a pitch. It's the 3rd straight inning in which a St. Francis batter has been hit by a Bryson Taylor pitch. And Taylor has had control issues all year. 16 walks and 4 hit batters coming into today. So that's almost a free base runner an inning. In 80% of his innings anyway. But 100% today as Sean Harper stands in and takes ball 1. Kernbauer chased back to first. He dives in safely. 20 free base runners in 25 2/3 innings coming in. Today, he's given out 3 in 2+ innings. None of them have been walks. They've all been hit batters. Those are the only 3 base runners the Saints have had. Fouled back by Harper, 1-1. Harper was bunting on the first pitch, ended up taking a ball. On 1-0, he swings away. One pitch, looks to bunt again, but again he takes a ball. So on the balls he's been bunting, on the only pitch in the zone, he swung away. We'll see what the plan is here with a hitter's count. Kernbauer at first base takes his lead. The 2-1 offering coming from Bryson Taylor. It is a bunt and it's foul. So now with 2 strikes, the bunt sign likely but not definitely off. We'll see what Taylor has planned here, the right-hander pitching out of the stretch. Harper pops it up foul and out of play. It's still 2-2. Good at bat here for Sean Harper, trying to make a guy work who had not really worked through 2 innings. Harper, it's a grounder right to second base. Smith flips it to second for 1. Max relay throw is in time. Another 4-6-3 double play. Second one of those turned in the last 2 innings by Indiana South Bend. And the bases are empty with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order and Travis Schoonover. He's 0 for 1. He had a hard ground ball in the first inning but was robbed by Logan Young, who made a diving play to stop him. It's 1-0 on Schoonover. Fouled back off the screen, 1-1. 3 base runners for the Saints today. 2 of them now have been erased on double plays. Ball outside, 2-1. It's the 13th pitch of the inning from Bryson Taylor, who threw a combined 19 in the first 2 frames. So longer at bats this inning, but so far nothing to show for him. Ball outside, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike on Travis Schoonover. Foul tipped. It's 3-2. If Schoonover can reach here, Dolan Nicholson will hit next. Otherwise, we move on to the 4th. Ball 4 outside. Taylor puts his 4th man aboard through just 2 2/3 innings. Despite 3 hit batters and a walk, we have not yet seen the Saints get a man to second base. Every time they've had a man on so far today, the very next hitter has hit a ground ball to second. Twice that has resulted in double plays, and once it came with 2 outs, so it couldn't be a double play. There's a ground ball to third instead on a beautiful bunt from Dolan Nicholson. No throw made. And there's the first hit of the game for the Fighting Saints. Base hit Nicholson. Schoonover advances to second. 2 on, 2 out for Josh Tesh. If it hadn't been for that double play, the Saints would really have something brewing right now. Since it was for the double play, they'll have to rely on Josh Tesh to get a big 2-out hit. Tesh was hit by a pitch his first time up, no official at-bats. Came in leading the team in hitting at .367. He takes the ball outside. Tesh has 3 home runs this year. That's also a team lead. Those 3 home runs, by the way, came over the span of 4 innings, I believe. Last week, fouled back 1-1. It happened very suddenly. 2 home runs in 1 inning of 1 game, and then homered in his first at bat the next day. Breaking ball inside. Can't quite come back to find the corner. It's 2-1. Two on, 2 out. 2-0 game, but St. Francis can change that. On this pitch to Tesh, grounded to third. That's a foul ball. Count is 2-2. Bryson Taylor has walked 1. He's hit 3 batters. He has no strikeouts yet. But he's 1 strike away from finishing off Tesh. And he does. Over the outside corner. Got Tesh looking. And the 3rd inning comes to a close. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 2 left on base, and as we go to the 4th inning, our score is still Indiana South Bend 2, St. Francis 0. Jordan Moore leads off the top of the 4th inning for IUSB as they bring their middle of the order up. Moore, Stetz, and Unger to face Nick Villasenor for the 2nd time each. And the inning begins with a strike on Moore. Jordan Moore DH'd game 1. He's the catcher in game 2. Popped out to the catcher his first time up. 0 for 1 in the game. As he falls behind 0-2 on that foul ball. Villasenor looks to put him away. And he doesn't on that pitch. Just off the outside corner, 1-2. Jake Lesotho wanted it. Looked to be in a similar location to the one that got Josh Tesh rung up to end the top of the 3rd inning. That ball hit high and deep out to left field, back towards the fence, and gone. Jordan Moore goes deep. It's 3-0 IUSB. Third home run of the doubleheader for South Bend, and for Jordan Moore, that is home run number 4 this season. Snaps a string of 5 straight set down by Nick Villasenor, and it gets IUSB back on the board. Scarcely an inning that goes by in this doubleheader today that they don't score. They've now got at least 1 run in 9 out of 11 innings, including 3 out of 4 in this game. Strike 1 called on Scott Stetz. Stetz is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the 1st inning, 1 of 2 strikeouts so far for Villasenor. There's a tappert on the 3rd baseline. Villasenor lets it go, and he should have picked it up. It's a fair ball and an infield single for Stetz. Well, you never can tell. That one looked like it was going foul, but it died on the line. Of course, it's all artificial turf here at DuPage Medical Group Field. So it's not a normal chalk line where you might expect a ball that's just trickling like that to die as it rolls up over the line. But in this case, it just ran out of momentum as it hit that white. Tough break for the Saints. Here's Nolan Unger swinging at the first pitch and fouling it to the right side. Strike 1. Back-to-back hits to begin the 4th inning, and the hits couldn't have been much different. 370-some foot home run hit by Moore. And speaking of hits, Unger just got hit. Second batter that Nick Villasenor has hit with a pitch today. Bryson Taylor has plunked 3. 5 batters have been hit by pitches. We're only in the 4th inning. 2 on, nobody out for Austin Verwey. Verwey reached on an error his first time up. He bunts foul. That error that he reached on in the 2nd inning came on a bunt. It was a sacrifice with a runner at first base. He advanced him, and then advanced himself as well as the ball was thrown away by the pitcher. So Verwey looking to sacrifice himself again, at least on the first pitch of this at-bat. Ryan Daly way in at first. There's the bunt, goes to the third base side, picked up by Villasenor. The throw goes to first, and it's in time for the out. So a sacrifice there, 1-4, with Tesh covering first base. Verwey is out, Unger at second. Stet's up to third base. First out of the inning has been recorded. Now the umpires will discuss it to determine whether or not Tesh actually had the bag, and they agree that he did. So Verwey is out, as we thought. Tough spot here for Villasenor as he faces Nolan Lorenz. So the first three batters of the inning reached. Now an out recorded. Stetz is on third after his single, and Unger's at second. He was hit by a pitch. Lorenz takes strike one. So I was saying that Moore hit probably 370 some feet, and then the Stetz hit that immediately followed it rolled maybe 20 feet or so. But they both counted as hits. One of them a home run, the other a single. Lorenz takes a strike. Nolan Lorenz grounded into a fielder's choice in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. He takes a ball, 1-2. Of course, that Moore home run came on a 1-2 count. Villasenor had gotten ahead of him 0-2, thought he had put him away on a breaking ball outside that ended up going for ball one. Saints thought they had strike three on that. The call didn't go the way they wanted, and the next pitch was a homer. Ground ball past third, foul, still 1-2. IUSB leads by 3. They can add to that lead on a big hit from Nolan Lorenz. He does make solid contact out to right field. It's playable for Schoonover. Deep enough to score a run, though. Stetz crosses the plate. Unger heads to third. It's 4-0. Sacrifice fly for Nolan Lorenz. He picks up the RBI. Second run of the inning for South Bend. For Lorenz, RBI number 7 this season, as Colin Mack takes ball one. Mack is 0 for 1. He ended the second inning by grounding into a 6-4-3 double play. He's ahead in the count here, 2-0, with a man over at third base. Now it's 3-0. Ball 4 outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to the number 9 hitter. Kind of a stunner right there. Nick Villasenor had only issued 1 walk all season prior to that at bat in 22 2/3 innings pitched. And he wasn't even close in that whole at-bat against IUSB's struggling 9th batter. And that brings us back to the top of the order in the red-hot Logan Smith. That's the last thing that Villasenor wanted to do. Put a 242 hitter on for free and then have to face a guy hitting almost 400. Strike one called on Smith, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. There's ball 1 to even things up. Smith is the 7th batter this inning. He began with a Jordan Moore homer. It was followed by a single hit by pitch, sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, walk. And now Smith, who faces a 1-1 count as Mack dives back to first base on a pickoff throw. Chopper to the left. Charging is the third baseman Kernbauer. The throw to first is there, and it's the end of the inning. Good inning, though, for IUSB. They score twice on 2 hits. They leave 2. And as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, the Saints have their work cut out for them. They trail 4-0. Bottom four, the Saints face their biggest deficit now as IUSB added 2 runs in the top half of this inning. 4-0 for Foster, Heiss, Ryan Daly, Jake Lasota and company to try to come back from. Heiss is 0 for 1 with a ground out, and he fouls the first pitch back, strike one. Heiss went 3 for 3 with a sac fly in game 1. 0 for 1 so far in game 2, but trying to get himself back on base. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2. Bryson Taylor has not given up much in terms of contact on the mound today. He's allowed just 1 hit through 3 innings. It was a bunt single. However, the Saints have had 5 total base runners through 3 frames. Taylor's had a lot of command problems. Not in this at-bat as Heiss foul tips it into the catcher's glove for strike 3. Tesh struck out looking to end the third. Heiss strikes out swinging to begin the fourth. Back-to-back Ks on the score sheet. It brings up the freshman Ryan Daly. Daly, the first baseman / right-handed pitcher, stands in for the second time, swings the first pitch and fouls it off. Daly was the starting pitcher in game 1. Here in game 2, he bats for the second time. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. One of 3 hit batters already in the game for Taylor. None of them have advanced beyond first base. 0-2 on Daly following the swing and the miss. He's in a hole. Taylor looking for back-to-back strikeouts on 3 pitches. Downstairs, ball 1. First ball of the inning. And there's a foul ball with 2 strikes, and Daly once again extends the at-bat. IUSB has come close so far to matching their production from game 1. Ball outside. Count is even at 2. They scored early and often in the opener today, but St. Francis was just a little bit behind their pace. Fouled away, still 2-2. Saints piled on runs as well. They just couldn't do it at quite the same rate that the Titans did. Ended up falling 12-6. Here in game 2, IUSB has continued to score almost every inning. St. Francis so far has not been able to keep up against Bryson Taylor. Daly smacks another one foul to the right. Third straight 2-strike foul ball, and he'll see an 8th pitch. One out, nobody on in the bottom of the 4th. Taylor's next offering, fouled away. We'll see another 2-2 here. Good at bats so far for Daly. But we're past the point of moral victories. He needs to get on base. There's ball 3. This is a 9-inning game, so a little bit more opportunity here than we had in game 1 to see a comeback. Daly strikes out swinging. Third straight strikeout for Taylor. Comes on the 10th pitch of the at-bat. And there are 2 outs with nobody on base for Jake Lasota. Because it's a 9 and not a 7-inning game, the 4th inning doesn't feel late like it did previously. It's still fairly early in this game as Lasota takes ball 1. Still, IUSB has shown no inclination to slow down. Lasota hits it in the air right field, backing up TJ Herrera. He reaches for it and can't come up with it. Lasota's got a base hit. He heads to second. It's a 2-out double. Second hit of the game for the Saints. First one that has reached the outfield. And Noah Carraro will come on as a pinch runner at second base for Lasota. Here's Luke Ketchum. TJ Herrera with the right-handed Lasota batting. Played very shallow and right, and Lesota ended up hitting it right over his head. So De Herrera burned on his positioning. And the Saints have got a chance here in this fourth inning. Luke Ketchum is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Ketchum did not play, or he did not start, I should say, in game 1. It's his 9th start of the season. He takes ball 1. 241 hitter entering play. The 1-0 pitch misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Jake Lesota hit a 2-out double to keep the inning alive for the Fighting Saints. Ketchum tries to drive him home, or at least his pinch runner. Luke Ketchum's at second right now, or rather, Noah Carraro's at second right now, as Luke Ketchum takes a ball low. 3-0. Josh Kernbauer on deck. Called strike 1. Ketchum thought it was ball 4. It was not. He chucked his bat aside. He'll have to go back and retrieve it. IUSB scored a run in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the fourth. St. Francis trying to at least match that fourth inning and get themselves on the board here. Ground ball to short. Backhanded pickup by Colin Mack. The throw to first is in time and the inning is over. 2-out double is the only offensive evidence in the fourth inning for the Fighting Saints. We go to the fifth. 4-0. Titans have the lead. Nick Villasenor winds up for the first pitch of the fifth inning and fires a strike over to TJ De Herrera. Left-handed hitting right fielder who homered back in game 1. In game 2, he's 0 for 1 with a pop-out and been hit by a pitch. He takes a strike and the count is 0-2. 4-0 IUSB. De Herrera has not technically been involved in any of the run scoring as he takes a ball 1-2, although back in the first inning, he did get thrown out at the plate on a Logan Young double, which at the time nearly made it 2-0. Ball outside, 2-2. Villasenor escaped the first inning, only allowing 1 run. He did the same in the second, and then pitched a 1-2-3 third as TJ De Herrera swings through strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for the senior lefty, and there's 1 out in the fifth. It looked like Villasenor had gotten into a groove. He retired 5 straight batters in the second and third, but Jordan Moore led off the fourth inning with a solo home run. And it's been IUSB's ball game since then with a pretty healthy lead. Ground ball to short, picked up by Sean Harper, and he throws to first to retire Logan Young. 2 quick outs here in the fifth inning. Villasenor looking for his second 1-2-3 frame of the game. The first one came back in the third when he went up against the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. If he can do it here in the fifth against 2, 3, and 4, it'll be pretty impressive, the fact that he's been able to shut down the top of the IUSB order, a very dangerous top of the order. Some of the other guys up and down the lineup, though, have gotten the job done. They've been very balanced today. Jordan Moore fouls off the first pitch. Moore's solo home run to lead off the fourth inning was a big hit to break the game open after it had been so close early on. 2-0, not so intimidating. 4-0, a little bit more so. Ball one, the count is even. Moore popped out to the catcher his first time up. He's 1 for 2. Villasenor is ready to go. Jordan Moore steps out of the box, though. We're waiting for the go-ahead from the home plate umpire. And now everybody is set. And the pitch misses for a ball, 2-1. Hard grounder, but right to the shortstop. Another chance for Harper, who boots it. And Moore reaches first base. Today's doubleheader is not going to go on any defensive highlight reels. 6 errors in the 2 games for St. Francis now, plus a couple of other defensive misplays as Moore checks out. The catcher will get ready for next inning with pinch runner coming on. Taj Abdur-Rahman comes in to run at first. The batter is Scott Stetz. Stetz is 1 for 2. He reached on an infield single in the 4th inning, later scored. Struck out back in the 1st. And he's hit by Villasenor's first pitch in this at-bat. So the pitchers are even now. Both of them have hit 3 batters. Both of them have also walked 1. 4 free base runners on each side. Abdur-Rahman advances to second base. 2 on, 2 out for Nolan Unger. Looked like it was an easy inning for Villasenor. Got the 2 outs and then a ground ball to short. Sean Harper's error kept the inning alive, though. And now really good speed at second base with another runner on at first. And Unger coming up to hit. Villasenor's first pitch to Nolan Unger is taken for a strike. Runners go. The throw to third. Not in time. A double steal. 0-1 on Unger, but now 2 men in scoring position. And a hit could be very costly for the Fighting Saints. The 0-1 is fouled away to the right side. Villasenor is 1 strike away from ending the inning. Started with that 2-out error. And then Villasenor, for the 3rd time today, hit a batter with a pitch. But now it's 0-2 on Unger. Way outside. Nice save by Jake Lasota. Leaping out of his crouch to pull that ball in. That would have meant to run if it had gotten to the backstop. Pickoff throw to second. And Stetz dives back to the bag safely. Abdur-Rahman at third. He came on as the courtesy runner for Jordan Moore, who reached on the air. That kept this inning alive. 1-2. Unger takes the ball inside. The count is even. Villasenor 1 strike away from getting out of an inning. Fouled away, still 2-2. Not just an inning, but this inning, the 5th. Not an easy one for him. 2 quick outs before back-to-back base runners. The double steal has put Villaseñor in a very tough spot, but he was able to get ahead of Unger. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count now. Grounder left side. Harper charges. This time he picks it up cleanly and throws to first in time. The inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. Halfway through this game, our score is Indiana South Bend 4, St. Francis nothing. Bottom 5, 4-0 South Bend. Kernbauer, Harper, and Schoonover due up for the Fighting Saints. First pitch from Bryson Taylor is in there for strike 1. Josh Kernbauer was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. No official at bat for him. One of 3 St. Francis batters to be hit by a pitch today. One of 6 hitters total to be hit. Strike 2 called. Indiana South Bend has threatened in almost every inning. They've scored in 3 out of 5. Left men at 2nd and 3rd in the top of the 5th. Kernbauer fouls it off to stay alive. Saints have had at least 1 base runner in every inning, but haven't been able to do anything with them. They've left 4 men on base and have also hit into 2 double plays. Loop down the right field line, cutting, foul. Not foul by a lot there, but enough. Just inches wide of the line to the right side of the field. And Kernbauer has to return to the batter's box with an 0-2 count. Although he's hit 3 batters today, Bryson Taylor has only walked 1, and this is a guy who had walked 16 in 25 2/3 innings coming in. Foul tip. And it's still 0-2. You'll see a 6th pitch. Kernbauer checks the swing. Did not go around. And this time he takes a ball. Out of 6 pitches in the at-bat, the first one to miss the zone there. 1-2 the count on Kernbauer, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Strike 3 called. That one clips the outside corner. Kernbauer is set down. 4 strikeouts in the game now for Taylor. And the batter is shortstop Sean Harper. The number 9 hitter is 0 for 1. He had a good back-and-forth battle with Taylor in the 3rd inning before ultimately grounding into a 4-6-3 double play. He swings through the first pitch here. Strike 1. Strike 2. Taylor firing him in, getting ahead of everybody here this inning. 8 out of 9 pitches so far in the 5th have been strikes. This one is not. Ball 1. Indiana South Bend is looking today to win their 8th consecutive game and move above 500 for the first time this year. Harper takes ball 2. They lost their first 5 games. They lost 10 of their first 11 games, but they have worked their way back. They're now 13-13 for the season. Fouled off by Harper, still 2-2. So after starting 1-10, it's impressive enough they've gone 12-3 since then. But 7 straight wins. Hard grounder, right side and into right field, past the diving Logan Smith. There's a 1-out single for Sean Harper and a nice hit for the Fighting Saints. 3rd hit of the game for them. 7th base runner. And we're back to the top of the order, and Travis Schoonover. Schoonover, the 5th-year senior, is 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first inning, walked in his second plate appearance. Ball 1, low and away. Olivet Nazarene is next on the docket for IUSB next week. Strike called, 1-1. As they try to stay hot. And whether they win or lose this game, they'll still be hot. Although they'll have a lot to think over if they lose this, considering they've got the 4-run lead at the halfway point. Schoonover slaps it out to left field. Back-to-back singles for the Saints. Schoonover's at first, Harper's at second. 1 down, here's Dolan Nicholson. Nicholson, the senior outfielder, has gone 1 for 2 in this game. He got the first hit for the Saints back in the 3rd. It was on a bunt single. He swings away here and fouls it off. Even down by 4, even with 1 out in the inning, Titans are expecting a bunt here with the corner infielders in, and that may be in part just because Nicholson is such a good bunter and found his way aboard that way earlier. It might not be about the base runners. Ball outside, 1-1, because it certainly doesn't look like he has any thoughts about sacrificing himself here. 1-1 pitch, lined into left field, another base hit. This one brings Harper around third base. Harper slides head first in front of the tag. An RBI single for Dolan Nicholson. The Saints are on the board. It's a 4-1 ball game. 3 straight singles. Harper, Schoonover, and Nicholson. Schoonover advanced to second on the play. So still 2 on with only 1 out. And the batter is Josh Tesh. Tesh is 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch and struck out. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. Strike 1. For Dolan Nicholson, that single gives him 9 RBIs for the year. It's his second hit of the game. Strike called on Tesh, 0-2. Taylor's been cruising through this game, but he doesn't typically go too deep into contests. The average is only 5 innings per start. Here we are in the 5th as he's run into serious trouble for the first time all game. Misses outside on Tesh, 1-2. There's some action in the South Bend bullpen. Right-hander Matt Smith is loosening up. Ball and 2 strikes on Tesh. Taylor sets and delivers. Grounded foul past third. Still 1-2. Long look in at the catcher, Moore. And finally, Taylor is ready. Takes a quick look at the runner at second. Pitch to Tesh. Line sharply down the left field line, and inside that line for another hit. Schoonover is in. Nicholson held at third base on Josh Tesch's double. All of a sudden, it's a 4-2 game, and the tying run is in scoring position for the Fighting Saints. Josh Tesch has his second extra base hit of the day, and he drives in his 13th run this season. 4-2. Still only one out in the inning. 4 straight hits. The batter is Foster Heise. There's a shot up the middle and a base hit for Heise. Nicholson is in. Tesh to third. That's 5 straight hits for the Saints. And they're within a run. These have not been cheap hits either. Screaming liners all over the place, and Heise's base hit makes it a 1-run game. It puts the tying run at third base with only 1 out in this 5th inning. And it looks like we're fixing to see a change here as Matt Smith is ready to go in the bullpen. Doug Bizey takes the walk to the mound, grabs the ball from Bryson Taylor, and it's pitching change here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Great work through 4 innings for Taylor. Struggled through the 5th, and he departs with a 1-run lead. I'll be right back with information on the new pitcher and the rest of this inning as the Saints are making their move, down by just a run in the 5th. Ryan Daly is the hitter. Matt Smith is the pitcher. Runners at the corners, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Saints have scored 3 runs to cut the 4-0 IUSB lead down to 1. Daly is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's been hit by a pitch as well. And the first pitch from Matt Smith is swung on and missed for strike 1. Smith is making his 9th relief appearance of the year. He's 0-1 with a 4.38 ERA. He's allowed 6 runs on 5 hits over 12 1/3 innings with 9 strikeouts and 9 walks this season. The 0-1 is fouled back, 0-2. Both runners on base belong to the starting pitcher, Bryson Taylor, who lasted 4 1/3 innings. Struck out 4 batters. He walked 1. He hit 3. He allowed 7 hits. 5 of them came consecutively this inning, which is the reason he's not pitching anymore. The 0-2, Daly strikes out swinging. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch. And it's up to Jake Lasota to get the tying run in from third. If both of the runs on base right now score, Taylor could conceivably lose this game. He cannot win because he didn't make it through 5 innings. Jake Lesota is the 8th batter of the inning. And he takes ball 1 up and in from Smith. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Lesota. There is a right-hander loosening in the St. Francis bullpen as well. It's been an up-and-down game for Nick Villasenor. He trails by a run. Lesota can change that here as he swings and grounds it to short. Scooped up cleanly by Mack. He flips it to second and ends the inning. The fielder's choice puts a damper on the St. Francis threat, but they do score 3 runs in the inning on 5 straight hits, RBIs from Nicholson, Tesh, and Heiss. And we'll head to the 6th with the Saints now back in it. They trail by just a run. It's 4-3. It's the bottom of the order due up for IUSB in the 6th inning. Verwey, Lorenz, and Mack to face Nick Villasenor. Pitching with just a 1-run deficit now as the first pitch is hit on the ground right to second base. Tesh bobbles it, throws to first late. Another error on the St. Francis defense, on their infield in particular. They've had second, third, and short all pick up errors over the last 2 games. In today's doubleheader now, 7 total errors committed. Verwey is aboard. Second time today that he has reached on an error. And here's Nolan Lorenz. Lorenz is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, and he bunts this ball backwards for strike 1. I was about to say for Villasenor, now that he's pitching with just a 1-run deficit, be a big time for him to come out and put a 0 on the scoreboard. Get a little momentum going his team's way, especially facing the bottom of the order. I think this would be one of his better chances at picking up an easy inning, relatively speaking. Lorenz bunts it foul once again. The count is 0-2. The error is not the way you wanted to see the inning begin. It's committed by Josh Tesh, the guy who was one of the offensive heroes last inning, picked up an RBI double as part of that 3-run rally. He was stranded at third base at the end of the inning. Ball low. Lorenz still looking to bunt, even with 2 strikes on him. That time, though, he pulled back and took a ball. John McGuire is warming up in the bullpen down the left field line. Another foul bunt, and that's strike 3. So IUSB very insistent on bunting in that situation. Not really a typical bunting spot, but they really wanted to get it down. It did not work. And the batter is Colin Mack, 0 for 1 in the game with a walk. Mack hits it on the ground through the hole on the left side. And a first pitch base hit for Mack. That advances Verwey to second base. 2 on, 1 out, and back to the top of the order now for Logan Smith. Talk about how big an inning this is for Nick Villasenor. It's a big inning for IUSB's offense as well. They were in total control of this game, it seemed, and now all of a sudden they're back on their heels a little bit. Chance right here to add a run and completely halt that St. Francis momentum that had been building would be huge for them. Strike one on Logan Smith, who's grounded to third in each of his last 2 at-bats. Prior to that, Smith had hits in his last 5 plate appearances, going back to game 1. The 0-1 pitch. Taken for a strike. It's 0-2. Villasenor's got 4 strikeouts today. Looking for number 5 right here. 0-2 on Smith. He chases into the dirt, but it skips to the backstop, and the runners advance. Strike 3. It is the second out of the inning. Smith cannot go to first as it was occupied. But Verwey moves to third and Mack to second on the wild pitch. All in all, I think a positive result for Villasenor as he does get the second out. And De Herrera will bat with 2 down and 2 on. Second straight inning that IUSB has gotten runners to second and third with 2 outs. They were not able to score in the 5th. They've got their best bat up right now, though. And I don't know if he's going to be facing Nick Villasenor. Brian Mahalik is making his way out to the mound. McGuire is ready in the bullpen. Villasenor has done good work with De Herrera so far today. He's 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. But you've also got the lefty-lefty matchup in your favor right now, and it certainly doesn't look like he's going to pull his pitcher, and Mahalik is indeed not doing that, making his way back to the dugout now. But they were conferencing on the mound for long enough that you'd think if a call to the bullpen were imminent, it would have been made already. So that was more of a strategy discussion than anything, and this is perhaps the last man that Villasenor will face in this game. He'd like to finish up strong with Verwey at third and Mack at second, 2 outs, and the Titans leading the Saints 4-3. One extra quick conference. Just a 2-man conference that time between the battery mates. And another delay as the home plate umpire scrawls something into his book. Here we go. De Herrera steps in. Villasenor set from the pitcher's mound, and the first pitch is hit foul past first base for strike 1. Shadows starting to creep over the infield here as IUSB tries to extend their lead again. Something they did extremely well in game 1 every time the Saints scored and got a little bit closer. It seemed like they were ready to jump on them for some more runs. Ball 1, count is even. The Titans have not been held to 4 runs in any of their last 10 games. This one is flown into deep left field. Long run back for Luke Ketchum in front of the track. He pulls up and makes the grab. So the inning comes to a close. Once again, they leave 2 men in scoring position. They've left 7 base runners in all today. And the Saints maintain a 1-run deficit as they come to bat in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 4-3. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Saints trail by only 1 run. Luke Ketchum, Josh Kernbauer, Sean Harper due to hit. And Ketchum is hit by the first pitch from Matt Smith. That is the 4th Fighting Saint to be hit by a pitch today. The first one who's been put on by Smith. And the leadoff base runner is aboard. Good speed at first base with Josh Kernbauer coming up next. Saints have trailed this entire day from start to finish in Game 1 and from start to the 6th inning in Game 2. Kernbauer is 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch. He's also struck out. So it's a bunt here, but then pulls the bat back and takes the ball to the backstop. Ketchum advances to second. Looked like a pass ball against Jordan Moore. 1-0 on Kernbauer. And now the tying runs in scoring position. Mentioned last inning that IUSB has not been held to 4 runs or fewer in any of their last 10 games. They average 7.4 runs per game on the year. So even though we're starting to get late, you don't expect them to sit on 4 for the entire game. Kernbauer again squares to bunt and again takes a ball. 2-0. So it's not just about tying the score up for St. Francis. It's not just about taking the lead. They want to pour it on. They figure at some point they're going to need to take a multi-run lead here to feel any sense of comfort against this red-hot offense. Popped up by Kernbauer behind home plate towards the dugout of IUSB, and it drops untouched as Logan Young, the first baseman, tries to make the sliding catch unsuccessfully. Moore went back for it too, the catcher. He tripped over his own mask. He didn't throw it away far enough, and that's why usually you see catchers won't throw their mask off until they locate the ball. But I think his helmet just popped off and he tripped over it. Nothing intentional about where he left it. I don't know if he would have had an easier play right there than Logan Young anyway. Neither of them got to it. It's 2-1 on Kernbauer. He takes ball 3. Kernbauer looked to bunt on the first 2 pitches. The last 2 he has not squared up. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike. A runner at second base. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning of a 1-run game. Matt Smith on the mound. Sets and deals. Strike 2 called. Smith has had lots of control issues this year. Coming into today, 3 hit batters and 9 walks in only 12 1/3 innings pitched. Today in 2/3 of an inning, he has hit Ketchum. Fell behind Kernbauer, but the count has been worked full. And now he's walked him. Back-to-back free base runners. They're at first and second with nobody out for Sean Harper. So that gives him an average of more than 1 free base runner per inning pitched this season, with 4 hit batters and 10 walks in 13 innings pitched. Opponents are hitting 122 this year against Matt Smith. When you're only allowing a 122 batting average, you'd think your ERA would be below 4.38, but he just has not been able to throw strikes consistently. He's also thrown 3 wild pitches, which is a very high number in just 12 innings. Well, now 13 innings worked. But certainly something the Saints can look out for, as they've got good speed on the bases. Titans are expecting Harper to be bunting now. He is, but he takes a strike. Ketchum's at second. Kernbauer is at first. Harper is trying to move them both up in front of Travis Schoonover. There's a bunt. It's foul. Strike 2. So now we'll see if they keep the bunt sign on with 2 strikes on Harper. Harper's got 1 sacrifice this season. Tying run over at second base. They're trying to get him to third, but there is no one out yet this inning. Titans certainly think he's still bunting. Logan Young practically on top of him. He squares up early, drops it to the third base side, and there's nobody there. Harper is aboard on a bunt single. Logan Young put his life in danger there, standing only about 15 feet away from home plate as the pitch came in. But he was on the first base side. Harper bunted it to the third base side, and Austin Verwey was not coming in with that pitch. So a bunt hit moves up everybody and allows Harper to reach. They're loaded with nobody out. And here comes a pitching change for IUSB. Tying run at third. The go-ahead run is at second. And there are no outs in the sixth inning with the top of the order coming up. A very good scoring chance developing for St. Francis. And we'll get the conclusion of this chance in just a moment. I'll step aside for just a bit. We'll continue this bottom half of the sixth shortly. Zach Dean is the new South Bend pitcher. With the bases full and nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. Dean is on for the seventh time. He's 1-0 with a 3.12 ERA and 8 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned on 8 hits, with 12 strikeouts and 4 walks. He faces Travis Schoonover. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Ketchum's at third base. He was hit by a pitch. Kernbauer's at second. He walked. Harper is at first. He dropped down a bunt single. Schoonover is 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a run scored in this game. He swings and misses. It's 1-1. St. Francis has not led yet today. That could change with one swing of the bat from Schoonover. They've not been tied at any point today other than 0-0. Ball inside, 2-1. And that 0-0 score only lasted until the bottom of the first inning in both games 1 and game 2. Hitters count here on Schoonover. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Dean. Hit high into the air on the infield. The infield fly rule is in effect, and the catch is made by the shortstop Colin Mack. 1 away. Huge first out right there, recorded by Dean. And now he'll try to get through Dolan Nicholson. A .280 batter who is 2 for 3 in this game with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He doesn't necessarily need a hit to tie the game. A wild pitch or a passed ball could do that. A sacrifice fly could do it, even a ground out. Middle infielders are playing back, but Dolan Nicholson runs well, so it won't be easy to turn a double play on anything hit on the ground. He hits it in the air, shallow left center field. Coming in to make the catch is Nolan Lorenz. The runner at third tags, the throw is cut off, and Ketchum scores to tie it at 4. It's a shallow sac fly for Dolan Nicholson on the first pitch of the at-bat. He'll take it. Does not give the Saints the lead, but it starts things over again at 4-4. And the leading run still stands in scoring position with 2 outs for Josh Tesh. The other runners did not advance, so Kernbauer is still at second. Harper is still at first. Tesh is 1 for 2 with an RBI double. He's also been hit by a pitch. Zach Dean sets for the first pitch to Tesh, but throws to first base instead. Josh Tesh, a .367 hitter. Tough out here for Dean as Tesh tries to give the Saints the lead. Big swing, but he foul tips it for strike 1. Indiana South Bend led this game 4-0 in the 5th inning. But the Saints scored 3 in the 5th, and now they have 1 so far in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch is chopped down the third base line. Picked up by Verwey, who steps on his own base for the fielder's choice, ending the inning. The Saints get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 2. As we go to the 7th, our score is Indiana South Bend 4, St. Francis 4. It's a brand new game as we start the 7th inning in Joliet. St. Francis has scored 4 unanswered runs to tie it up after Indiana South Bend jumped out to a 4-0 lead. They have not scored since the 4th. And they'll start the 7th inning against a new pitcher as Logan Young swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Jordan Moore on deck. And then it'll be Scott Stetz. John McGuire into the game for the Fighting Saints. The freshman righty is on for the 6th time. He has no record and a .245 ERA as that ball is chopped down the third base line. Just fair. Kernbauer throws it high to first. Daly comes down on the bag just in time. Nice play by Ryan Daly, who's got a tall stretch over at first base. Daly at 6'2" tall. Was able to get that foot down just ahead of Young's foot. 1 up, 1 down in the 7th. Entering today's game, McGuire in 7 1/3 innings that allowed 5 runs, 2 of them earned on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts and no walks. He relieves Nick Villasenor, who went 6 innings in today's contest. There's a line shot into right field by Jordan Moore, a base hit for him. 1 out, man aboard for the Titans. That was their first hard hit ball in a while. In the last 2 innings, they had only had 1 hit, a single. This one a single as well. It's their 7th hit of the game. Villasenor gave up 6 and also walked 1 and hit 3 batters in his 6 innings. Gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He cannot win nor lose this game. It's a battle of the bullpens from now on. Scott Stetz is 1 for 2 with a single. He's also been hit by a pitch. He takes strike 1. 1 run scored for Stetz in today's game. Pickoff throw to first, and the runner dives back in safely. That runner is not Jordan Moore, but Taj Abdur-Rahman, who has been filling Moore's shoes as a base runner in today's game. There's a soft liner into center. Dolan Nicholson comes on, has to play it on a bounce. It's a single for Stetz, back-to-back one-out hits for IUSB, and now they're threatening again after they saw their lead disappear for the first time. They've got a chance to take it back. They missed out on some opportunities the last few innings to extend their lead. They were up 4-0. In the top of the 5th inning, they put runners at second and third with 2 outs but didn't score. And then in the 6th, after the lead had been cut to 4-3, again they had 2 runners on base. First and second with only 1 out last inning, and they did not score. That's the situation again here. First and second, 1 out, as Nolan Unger takes ball 1. IUSB through 6 innings has left 7 men on base. St. Francis has stranded 8. The 1-0 to Unger. Throw to second instead, and McGuire fortunate that ball didn't go out to center. Tesh was nowhere near the bag to apply a tag had he brought that ball in cleanly. He did bring it in cleanly, just not very close to Abdur-Rahman. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. John McGuire started game 1 earlier this afternoon at third base. Had a good day at the plate, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Actually drove in 2 runs in the game. Now he's trying to make an impact as a pitcher in game 2. Hard hit ball, but foul to the left side. 1-2 on Unger. Indiana South Bend has been on a hot streak, and most of their games have not been close. Last time they played one that was decided by either 1 or 2 runs was on March 23rd, a 1-run loss to Trinity International. 1-2 is in the dirt. Nice block by Lasota. 2-2. They're locked up in a close game today. That's not to say it's going to end as a 1 or a 2-run game. Who knows? But it's certainly gotten exciting into the later innings. There's a bounder to the left side. Charging and gloving it is Harper. He flips to second and gets the force. Fielder's choice. Stetz is retired 6-4. Abdur-Rahman advances to third base. And Nolan Unger takes Stetz's position at first. So they're at the corners. 2 down for Austin Verwey. Can the Saints strand a Titans base runner at third for the 4th consecutive inning? That's the question right now. Back in the 4th, when that streak started, they did score 2 runs, so leaving a man at third wasn't the end of the world. Austin Verwey takes a ball. But serious missed chances in both the 5th and the 6th innings have brought us into the 7th, where the Titans have another big chance. Abdur-Rahman at third, Unger at first, 2 outs, 1-0 count on Verwey, who swings and lifts it to shallow right. Schoonover comes in, Travis Schoonover makes the grab, and the inning is over. Once again, the Titans leave a man at third base. They don't score in the 7th. Time to stretch here in Joliet. Our score is 4-4. Foster Heiss leads off the bottom of the 7th inning for St. Francis with a chance to take their first lead of the game. They're tied 4-4. It's the 4, 5, and 6 batters due up against senior Zach Dean. The right-hander breaks one over the outside corner for strike one. Heiss is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. He's also grounded out and struck out. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Trailing 4-0 in the 5th inning, St. Francis scored 3 in that bottom of the 5th and then 1 more in the 6th. But Zach Dean came in and shut things down as Heiss hits a soft liner into right field. That's a single. Leadoff man aboard for St. Francis for the 2nd straight inning. Dean came in with the bases loaded and nobody out. He did allow 1 run to score on a sacrifice fly, but he retired all 3 batters he faced in the 6th. In the 7th, St. Francis has a chance to get to him. Colin Kelly comes in as a pinch runner. As Heiss departs, and Ryan Daly comes up to bat. Daly is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's also been hit by a pitch. So he has not put a ball in play yet. Maybe now's the time against Zach Dean as the Saints try to come all the way back to take the lead. Credit to the St. Francis pitching staff during this time. Down 4-0. They not only needed to score those 4 runs to make the comeback, they also have needed to keep the IUSB offense at bay as Daly bunts it back to the pitcher. Dean's play is at first, and the out is recorded there. 1-3 on the sacrifice. Kelly into scoring position, 1 away. Here's Jake Lasota. St. Francis pitchers have walked the tightrope, but they have not fallen over it. 6 base runners left on over the last 3 innings for IUSB, including a man at third in 4 consecutive innings. Jake Lasota is 1 for 3 with a double, and he's hit by the first pitch of the at-bat. Zach Dean's trying to argue he leaned into it, but he doesn't get the benefit of that call. And they're at first and second with 1 away. That's the 5th batter to be hit by a pitch today for St. Francis. And Lasota departs. Noah Carraro is in to run for him. So it's Carraro at first and Kelly at second. Ketchum in the batter's box and Kernbauer on deck. A lot of Ks in the USF lineup right now. Neither Kelly nor Carraro made their way on base. They're both pinch runners. Luke Ketchum tries to stop his swing, can't, but the ball gets away. The runners try to advance, and everybody is safe. A wild pitch on strike 1 to Luke Ketchum. The throw came into third. Kelly makes it in just ahead of the tag. He almost overslid the base. And Austin Verwey was convinced he got him with his hand off the bag, but the call was safe. So now they're at second and third with only 1 out. And if Ketchum can put the ball in the air, the Saints will likely take the lead. Ketchum is 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run. He's also grounded out twice. He's looking for a fly ball here, and he flies it foul out of play, 0-2. How about that risky base running maneuver by Colin Kelly? He's a pitcher normally. Doesn't get a lot of opportunities to run the bases, but he has one right here, and on a questionable decision to run on a wild pitch, he gets into third base just safely. There's a fly into center field. This will be deep enough. Backing up and making the catch, Nolan Unger, but no chance to catch either runner as Kelly comes home and gives the Saints a 5-4 lead. Carraro takes third. And that's now a big insurance run at third base as Ketchum picks up the RBI. And the Saints take their first lead of the day. Here's Josh Kernbauer. Kernbauer has walked. He's been hit by a pitch, and he has struck out. He takes strike one. The wild pitch on the first strike to Luke Ketchum proves huge in this game as the sac fly gives the Saints the 1-run lead as Kernbauer takes ball one inside. Ball two downstairs. 2-1 on Kernbauer, the fifth man to hit this inning. Foster Heist started things off with a single. Jake Lesotho was hit by a pitch, and then following a wild pitch, the Luke Ketchum sacrifice fly made it 5-4. 5 unanswered runs for St. Francis. Strike called over the outside corner. It's 2-2. Zach Dean is 1 strike away from ending the inning. And this is in the dirt. A good block there by the catcher, Jordan Moore. Blocked that one similarly to the wild pitch in the last at-bat. Moore kept that ball in front of him. It only rolled a few feet away. But Kelly took the chance of running. And he made it into third safely on a very close play in which he nearly overslid the bag and was called out on the back end. But he was safe. A couple of pitches later, Ketchum flew out to center field and brought home the run. Kernbauer bounces it foul, still 3-2. Zach Dean faced the top of the order in the 6th inning, retired all of them. Here in the 7th inning, he's having a little bit more trouble. Thanks to a single for Foster Heist and the hit by pitch, which has plagued everybody today. These two teams have had 8 men combined hit by pitches as Kernbauer smashes one into left field for an RBI base hit. 6-4, St. Francis. Josh Kernbauer on the 7th pitch of the at-bat brings home Noah Carraro. Saints have multiple runs for the second time in the last 3 innings, and we're going to see another pitching change for IUSB. None of the relievers so far today have been able to pitch well in their fresh innings. Both relievers, Matt Smith and Zach Dean, came in very tough spots with men on base and less than 2 outs and pitched out of trouble. But both men really struggled when they came out to start an inning. So we'll see a new man come in with a runner at first, 2 outs, 2 runs already in the bottom of the 7th inning. I'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. Saints lead 6-4. With 2 outs and a runner at first base in the bottom of the 7th inning, Kyle Hallberg is back in for Indiana South Bend. Hallberg pitched in Game 1 and now out for Game 2. His first pitch is popped up behind home plate by Sean Harper. Jordan Moore chases it back, makes the grab, and on just 1 pitch, Hallberg gets the Titans out of the inning. But the Saints score twice on 2 hits. They leave 1. On our way to the 8th inning, St. Francis leads Indiana South Bend 6-4. Top of the 8th inning, St. Francis 6, Indiana South Bend 4. John McGuire out to pitch. It's his second inning of work. Gave up a pair of hits, but no runs in the 7th inning. Here in the 8th, he starts things off with strike one on Nolan Lorenz. Lorenz is 0 for 2 with an RBI on a sac fly back in the 4th inning. Struck out trying to bunt back in the 6th in his most recent at-bat. He takes a strike. The count is 0-2. St. Francis has taken their first lead of this 3-game series against Indiana South Bend. Ball low and away, 1-2. But they don't want to rest on their 6-4 lead because Indiana South Bend can score. And they can score in bunches. Swing and a miss, strike 3. McGuire's got his first strikeout. 1 away in the 8th. Titans, I mentioned before, average 7.4 runs per game. They've scored at least 7 runs in 9 consecutive games. At least 5 runs in 10 straight. Ball high on Colin Mack, 1-0. They've been held to 4 so far in this game, but it has not been easy to hold them to 4. They've left 9 runners on base through 7 innings. Ball high, 2-0. The Saints have also left 9 runners on base, so it's not as though Indiana South Bend has been dominating the game and just hasn't had the runs. No, it's been evenly matched. Both teams have missed some opportunities. There's a fly ball into left field. Coming in and making the catch is Luke Ketchum. 2 down. This is a game that could very easily be 10-8 instead of 6-4. Indiana South Bend has not only left 6 runners on base, in fact 8 runners on base the last 4 innings, but they left someone on third base in every one of those innings. They've stranded 2 in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Here in the 8th, McGuire would like to make it a little bit easier. Strike 1 called on Logan Smith. Smith was unstoppable in Game 1. He reached base 5 times. In Game 2, he's just 1 for 4 with a single and a run. Ball 1, the count is even. McGuire has retired 4 consecutive batters, looking to make it 5. Smith grounds it to third. That's a foul ball. The count is 1-2. Next pitch from McGuire. Misses upstairs, 2-2. John McGuire 1 strike away from setting the Titans down in the 8th. There's been only 1 perfect inning today. It was back in the 3rd. Ball low, 3-2. That was when Nick Villasenor got on a roll. Villasenor started. He went 6 innings and allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He will not factor in the decision. That ball crushed into deep center field. Dolan Nicholson back on the run, and he can't quite catch up to it. It skids to the wall. Extra base hit for Logan Smith, a double. And the tying run will come to the plate for IUSB. Like I said, we're a long way from being able to count out the Titans in this game. TJ De Herrera will come up to bat. De Herrera is 0 for 3, and he's been hit by a pitch. He had a homer and 3 RBIs in Game 1 this afternoon. He swings the first pitch here and hits it sky high, shallow center. Dolan Nicholson over into right center. Makes the grab and ends the inning. Despite the 2-out double, Indiana South Bend does not score in the 8th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Saints looking for some insurance. They lead 6-4. There's a new pitcher in the game for IUSB as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order up for St. Francis. The new man on the mound is sophomore right-hander Cal Whitaker. Whitaker will face Schoonover, Nicholson, and Tesh. It's his 5th appearance this year. He has no record, an ERA of a lofty 27. First pitch swinging. Schoonover grounds it right to first base. Logan Young carries it to the bag. One away in the bottom of the 8th. Whitaker had thrown 2 innings all year coming in. 7 runs allowed, 6 of them earned on 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Good start to his day. He gets an out on the first pitch, just like his predecessor, Kyle Hallberg. In fact, Hallberg came in the 7th with a runner at first base and 2 outs. He threw exactly 1 pitch, got Sean Harper to pop out, and Hallberg's day was done. Dolan Nicholson takes ball 1 outside. Nicholson is 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. In fact, 2 RBIs and a run scored. It's actually 2 for 3. That sacrifice fly does not count against his average. Ball 2. The count is 2-0. Saints trailed 4-0 in the 5th. They scored 3 runs in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and they have the lead. Ground ball right side. That finds grass out in right field. A base hit for Nicholson, his 3rd of the game. Here comes Josh Tesh. Tesh is 1 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's got an RBI double. First pitch low and away, ball 1. In the 9th inning, Indiana South Bend has Young, Moore, and Stetz due up. That is a lethal trio. So in the meantime, they would like to add some runs. Tesh grounds it to the shortstop. Picked up by Mack. He throws to second for the force, and that's all they get. Nope, they've called interference. It's a double play. Calling Dolan Nicholson for the illegal slide. He took out the second baseman, Logan Smith. It looked like he slid straight through the bag. So the only reason I could think that they would make that call is maybe the umpire felt like the throw beat him by enough that he should have just peeled off rather than sliding into the bag. I don't know. But the interference call has been made. The inning is over. It's a double play, and the Saints do not add to their lead in the bottom of the 8th. But they're up 6-4 as we head to the 9th. 1 inning still to play, and IUSB will try to come from behind with 3 outs to work with in just a moment. 6-4, Saints on top. Start of the ninth inning, Indiana South Bend comes to bat. Trailing 6-4, they'll have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters batting against a new pitcher for St. Francis. Right-handed freshman Sam Pileggi, who hits the first batter. Well, you wouldn't be a pitcher in this game if you didn't hit somebody. So Young is aboard, and the tying run will come to the plate. Not the start that Pileggi was hoping for. Sam Pileggi on for the 5th time this year. He has no record of .284 ERA. Working on his 2nd save of the season. In 6 1/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 3 runs, 2 earned on 3 hits with 11 strikeouts and 5 walks. That's the first batter that he's hit this year. Here's Jordan Moore. Moore swings the first pitch and fouls it back off the screen, strike 1. I've lost count. I think that's the 9th batter that's been hit by a pitch in this game. And the leadoff man reaches for the first time since the 6th inning for Indiana South Bend. They've left 10 men on base in the game today. Pileggi will try to add 1 more. Ball low, 1-1. Jordan Moore has had a nice game, 2 for 4 with a home run. He's also reached on an error. So he's reached base 3 times in 4 trips to the plate. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Saints trailed 4-0 in the 4th inning of this game. Still 4-0 in the 5th inning. And that's when they began their comeback. Swing and a miss, strike 3, out number 1. Jordan Moore goes down swinging. And that'll bring up Scott Stetz. Saints scored 3 runs on 5 consecutive hits in the 5th inning, breaking up the Bryson Taylor shutout. They added another run to tie the score in the 6th, then 2 to take the lead in the 7th. Now we're in the 9th inning as the Fighting Saints try to wrap up a victory here. Trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Ball 1 up and in on Stetz. He came up and in on Young on the first pitch and got him high on the arm. Stetz is able to get out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Scott Stetz has been on base in his last 3 plate appearances. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles, and he's been hit by a pitch. He takes a strike. It's 1-1. Next pitch from Pileggi. Outside, ball 2. It's the middle of the order that's done the majority of the damage in this game for IUSB. Pileggi trying to get through that middle right now as he misses low. 3-1 on Stetz. Smith and D. Herrera, the 1 and 2 hitters, were very strong in game 1. Have not been quite as impactful in game 2. But the rest of the guys up and down the batting order have done their parts. There's a swing and a foul tip, and the count is 3-2. Nine hits in the game for Indiana South Bend. They've only been walked 1 time, but they've had 4 guys hit by pitches. That ball is flown into left center field. Dolan Nicholson over on it, makes the grab, and the Titans are down to their final out. After the leadoff man reached base, back-to-back outs recorded, and Logan Young still stuck at first base for the moment. Here's the last hope for Indiana University South Bend. It's center fielder Nolan Unger. Unger has a hit. He's been hit. He's also reached on a fielder's choice. He checks his swing and fouls it back. Strike 1. Pileggi 1 out away from his 2nd save of the year. It's the tying run in the batter's box. 0-1 on Unger. He takes ball 1 outside. No home runs on the season for Nolan Unger. He's hitting above 300, but without a lot of power. He's just trying to get on base and keep this game going. Austin Verwey is on deck. 1-1, just misses for ball 2. Pileggi set for the 2-1 pitch. There's a called strike, and the Titans are down to their final strike. St. Francis trying to complete a doubleheader split after dropping the opener 12-6. They came from behind to take the lead here in game 2. And now on a 2-2 count to Nolan Unger, Pileggi misses high, ball 3. One more ball would put the tying run on base with Austin Verwey on deck. Verwey actually just walked back to the dugout. It's a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle now. Jared Bass. Saints don't want to see him. Ground ball to third base. That's foul. Still 3-2. Bass will only hit if Unger reaches. Otherwise, he'll go right back to the dugout with Verwey. That final out, always one of the toughest ones to get. Unger has put up a fight here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see a 7th pitch in this at-bat. Here it comes. Downstairs, he walked him. A hit by pitch and now a walk. And IUSB will bring the go-ahead run to the batter's box. Jared Bass is coming up as the pinch hitter. Bass, a .314 hitter with 1 homer on the season. Started in game 1 and went 1 for 3 with an RBI single. We're also going to get a pinch runner at second base. Taj Abdur-Rahman comes on to run for Logan Young. So Abdur-Rahman had been the pinch runner for Moore earlier, but now he makes the permanent switch, coming in for Young. And Bass comes to the batter's box. 6-4 St. Francis, 2 on, 2 out in the 9th. Then Jared Bass takes ball 1. Pileggi is not allowed a hit, but he's been a little bit wild with the walk and the hit batter. He's thrown 10 balls this inning, 9 strikes. This will be his 20th pitch, 1-0 on base. Fouled back, out of play. It's 1-1. Today wraps up an early weekend series with Easter tomorrow. No Sunday game. Saints trying to salvage one after they dropped the opener in South Bend yesterday, and game 1 in Joliet earlier this afternoon. 1-1 pitch, Pileggi to base. Ball 2. After this one, Saints return to action on Tuesday. That's a road game at Lincoln. Road doubleheader, actually. 2 balls, 1 strike on base. Unger is at first, Abdur-Rahman at second. Ball 3, and Pileggi is in danger of loading the bases. Nolan Lorenz is scheduled to hit next, but it looks like he won't. Another pinch hitter is in the on-deck circle. Tyler Wellborn will bat if we get that far. Righty versus righty. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Line shot to left field, a base hit. Abdur-Rahman is going to score. Unger heads to third base, and he is held there. It's a double for Jared Bass, and now the score is 6-5. A walk and a double with 2 outs here in the 9th inning has extended this thing at least a little bit longer. And now a chance for Wellborn to tie it up or give his team the lead back. They've led most of the game, but they trailed 6-4 coming into this 9th inning. Tyler Wellborn is a junior who is batting for just the 11th time this year. He's 3 for 10 so far this season. He's also walked 4 times. So this is actually the 15th time he's batting. His first at bat of the day, we did not see him in game 1. So he comes up cold facing Pileggi with the tying run just 90 feet away. First pitch to Wellborn. Inside, ball 1. So the pinch runner at second base, I didn't get the number there, but base has been removed. It is Unger at third, representing the tying run. The runner at second would give them the lead, but Wellborn is hit by a pitch. The bases are loaded again. Second batter that he's hit. That's the 10th man to be hit by a pitch in this game. That's the second one this inning. Wellborn is aboard. It's Colin Mack's turn to try to tie this score up or maybe give his team the lead back. If Indiana South Bend does take the lead, it's not game over. The Saints would come up in the 9th inning still with Heiss, Daly, and Lasota due up. But none of those 3 guys has any desire to come to bat again. They can get their swings in some other time. They want to see Pileggi finish this one out. Unger is at third, the pinch runner at second, and Wellborn at first base. The batter is Colin Mack. Mack came in with a .242 batting average, but he's been on base 4 times in today's doubleheader. Went 2 for 4 in the opener, 1 for 3 with a walk here in game 2, and now batting for the 5th time with the game on the line. 3 straight base runners for the Titans with 2 outs in the 9th. Meeting on the mound is done. Pileggi's ready to go. There is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen right now for St. Francis, but if he has to come in, that means we'll at least be tied. There's a swing on the first pitch from Mack and a pop-up on the infield. Who wants it? It's the second baseman, Josh Tesh, making the grab, and there's your ball game. A little nerve-wracking in the end, but the victory goes to St. Francis 6-5 as the Titans leave another man at third base. They leave him loaded in the 9th inning, and they end up stranding 13 base runners in the game. Pileggi gets the final 3 outs, allowing only 1 hit in the 9th inning, but with a walk and 2 hit batters. It got close, but the Saints take game 2 of the doubleheader. The opener goes to Indiana South Bend 12-6. St. Francis takes game 2 6-5. Was not looking very good for the Fighting Saints for a while in this one. For the second straight game, Indiana South Bend scored in the first inning. Logan Smith singled and then scored on a Logan Young double. They added another run in the second inning when Nolan Unger singled. He later came in to score on a Nolan Lorenz ground out. So I guess what we learned from the first 2 innings is if you get on base, you can count on being driven in by somebody with the same first name as you. In the 4th inning, the lesson we learned was don't give Jordan Moore anything too good to hit because he crushed a home run over the left field wall. That made it 3-0. And then later in the inning, Scott Stetz singled and Nolan Lorenz hit a sacrifice fly to make the score 4-0. Did not look good for the Saints because not only were they down 4-0, but Bryson Taylor was pitching a gem for Indiana South Bend, but he hit a wall in the 5th inning with 1 out and nobody on. Sean Harper singled, Travis Schoonover singled, Dolan Nicholson singled, Josh Tesh doubled, and Foster Heiss singled. Those 5 batters were all consecutive. It scored 3 runs, and it made it a 4-3 game. Saints still had runners at the corners with only 1 out. But Matt Smith came out of the bullpen, got Daly and Lasota, and kept the score at 4-3. Then in the 6th inning, Luke Ketchum was hit by a pitch, Josh Kernbauer walked, and Sean Harper singled to load the bases with nobody out. This time it was Zach Dean who came out of the bullpen and shut the door, but in the process of shutting that door, he gave up a sacrifice fly to Dolan Nicholson. The RBI for Nicholson tied it at 4. Then in the 7th inning, the Saints struck again for the 3rd straight inning. Foster Heiss singled. Jake Lasota was hit by a pitch, and then a wild pitch advanced him to second and third. Luke Ketchum's sacrifice fly made it 5-4. and an RBI single for Josh Kernbauer made it 6-4. And now all of a sudden the Saints were in control. But here comes the 9th inning, and that's when the Titans tightened it up again. No pun intended, I promise. Young was hit by a pitch, and he stood at first base with 2 outs. That's when Nolan Unger walked. Jared Bass hit an RBI double, and Tyler Wellborn was hit by a pitch. That loaded him up with 2 outs for Colin Mack. He swung at the first pitch, popped out to second base. And the game came to a close. Indiana South then left the tying run at third base. Overall in this game, they stranded a runner at third base in 6 different innings. And the Saints are very happy for it as they come away with the 1-run victory. Next up for St. Francis, Lincoln College on Tuesday. They'll have that doubleheader, and then they're back home next Saturday. A doubleheader on Saturday afternoon of next week against Trinity International. That's the next time that I'll be with you. Make sure you get all of your St. Francis updates and check out all of your St. Francis broadcasts on GoFightingSaints.com. That'll do it for today. The Saints defeat the Titans 6-5. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Have a good night.